what's up? I'm Don Carr, and I'm here with Don Ruffatto from Gibson Acoustic, and we're talking about the 2020 line, the Custom Historic.
It's wonderful. We've gone back into our history and looked at the guitars, the specific years that were iconic, that created the line as it is today and as it is known today, and brought back these year-specific, wonderful examples of our history. Starting with 1934, going through the 60s, represented all the decades with specified accuracy, tonal accuracy. It just, as you've heard, they just sound wonderful. They play great. They look good, and it's just a throwback to a time when acoustic guitars were king.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This thing sounds amazing. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Well, they do, and across the board, they all feature some specific details. All have thermally aged tops. The models from the 30s through the 40s had thermally aged Adirondack spruce tops, because that's historically accurate. Right. From the 50s through into the 60s, hummingbirds that we're making have thermally aged Sitka spruce tops, because that is what was used in the day.
Oh, interesting.
A couple things we did. Again, the necks are all accurate to the day. We put very, very thin lacquer on these, only about 4/1000ths of an inch of lacquer, just because we always tout the fact that the nitro that we use dissipates and gets thinner and thinner as the years go on, which is what allows those vintage guitars to free up, vibrate, resonate, sound like they do. Right. So by starting with less lacquer, we give them a head start.
Oh, wow, that's great. Yeah, so it already has kind of a, not pre-aged, but definitely has a broken in sort of thing going.
Absolutely, both tonally and visually. We just do a light buffing and a hand rub on these to give them kind of a patina. They're antique, to give them a little bit of an aged look. From the tuners to the period correct cases, everything. The package is just spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous, man. And sonically, that's really the key. That's what matters, is what they sound like. I mean, and they are wonderful sounding.
It's great. I mean, we start with the 34 Jumbo, which is the very first full-size dreadnought that Gibson made as a production model. We have a 36 J35, a 36 Advanced Jumbo, a pre-war Rosewood J200 that's just a cannon, just a big box. The thing is just a boomer.
Wow.
1939 J55, which is a rare piece. We only made those for a few years. Into the wartime Banner guitars. We have a Banner LG2, a Banner J45, and a Banner Rosewood Southern Jumbo, all from 1942. Into the 50s, I'm holding a 1952 J185. This is available in natural or sunburst. Late 50s, 1957 J200s, again, specified to be just like the originals. Right. And then 60s hummingbirds. And we did it both ways, because it was represented both ways in the day, with an adjustable bridge or a standard bridge, for those that would gives people a few more options. But again, they're all just spectacular. If you have not had a chance to try these out, they just were released at the Winter NAMM show. But they're out there. They're getting there. We're building them as we speak, and they're just going to kill it for us.
Yeah, that's great, man. I love that you guys went so specific on all the details. Pick the iconic models and pick the iconic, versions of the models even, which is amazing.
Absolutely. There's a guitar for everybody, from the smaller LG2 through the J200s. They just work. Yeah. And it's so much fun. We have so much history to draw from. I mean, we've done so many things over the years, for different styles of body shapes, the colors, the wild pick guards on things like hummingbirds and 200s that are just iconic for Gibson, that we just get to have fun. We get to do a lot of different things.
Yeah, pick your favorites, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And they all play great. I mean, one of the things, we do so much handwork on all of our guitars. Every neck is hand-shaped. Every piece of wood is hand-sanded to final thickness, hand-assembled. Every burst and coat of lacquer is hand sprayed. We don't use robotics. Wow. Utilizing technology to monitor processes and make the guitars as consistent as possible without taking away from the hand-built factor of the guitar is key in these days of manufacturing.
It really is, because you're still dealing with individual pieces of wood, that are individual.
Absolutely, and individual people that are building them. We want them to be consistent. And the people that build them they're the best builders in the world up at Bozeman, Montana, where we make these.
Yeah, that's cool. You guys have got a great place up there, definitely doing amazing work.
Beautiful place to live and work, and it's a great company, great team, and we just love it. And the guitars show it every day.
Cool. Okay, Don, so let's hear a couple of these, man. This is the 34 Jumbo, right?
Correct.
This, man, wow. Let's just hear it. We'll talk later.
All right. Yep.
Yeah, that is so satisfying. I can't even tell you, man. I love the balance. I love the percussive aspect of it. One of the things that really attracts me to this guitar in particular is how dry is the best way I can say, because it's like the low end is there and you feel it and you hear it, but it doesn't build up. It's not like ringing and ringing and ringing. So it stays kind of contained. I could really see this being an amazing recording guitar.
Absolutely, and a lot of that is the dynamic of the thermally aged tops.
Ah, okay, there you go.
What people always wondered why the old guitars had that vibe,
Right.
had that thing that
Right.
only historically took 30, 40, 50 years to get.
Yeah.
Technology over the past few decades has allowed us to explore to a cellular level what happens with a piece of wood with time, with aging. We found that the sugars crystallize, the cell walls collapse, and how do we get there quicker? The process generically known as torrefication, which we call thermally aging, came into being. There's a lot of companies that are doing it. We found that it fits so good with our guitars, because our guitars have that historic feel, sound, and look already. And you add that thermally aged dynamic to the guitars, it just makes these vintage replicas just as almost as perfect as they can be.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the nitro finish adds to that as well, because nitro breaks down over time anyway.
Absolutely.
And so that's part of what allows the wood to age. And so if you guys go ahead and pre-do that, then you're already there, which is great.
It's great, because on every Gibson acoustic guitar, we do use nitrocellulose lacquer. Every guitar has a hot hide glue dovetail neck joint, which transfers vibration through the body to the neck. And why not let this work for you as part of the instrument, instead of just an attachment that holds the strings?
Yeah, absolutely not, man. Anytime, anything that touches the guitar is definitely part of that.
Absolutely, you can feel the neck move when you hit a big G chord when you're playing. And just all those dynamics put together what make a Gibson acoustic guitar a Gibson acoustic guitar. All right, Don, now you're holding new for 2020, the J185 Custom Historic 1952 replica model. Gibson took its J200, shrunk it down about an inch, and created this in the early 50s. The body style became forever famous as the Everly Brothers type guitar, and but this is the original where it started. This guitar comes in natural or sunburst. The maple gives it a shimmery tonality that you can only get out of maple.
Right.
But the short scale length keeps it nice and easy to play, and just gives it a quick response.
Yeah.
Finger style or strumming or any type of play. It's a very versatile guitar.
Yeah, right. Kind of tight sounding. Well, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's great, man.
Just clear.
Yeah.
Just crystal. The maple again just does that for you. The thermally aged top helps give it the warmth and roundness also.
It does, man. The low end is really mellow, but it's not like it's covered up or not present. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's still coming through great, but it's a nice mellow low end.
It is. It's still a big guitar. I mean, it's a comfortably big guitar, but it gives that. It's a great recording guitar.
Right.
It's great in the studio.
Oh gosh,
Fantastic.
I can only imagine, man. Interesting. Gets the wheels turning.
There you go.
Nice, man. Okay, so now I've got the J45, and specifically it is the
1942 Custom Historic Series Banner J45.
The Banner J45.
It's part of the series of 3 Banner Custom Historics we're making for this year, along with an LG2 and a 42 Rosewood Southern Jumbo. But the J45 is the icon.
Right.
First introduced in 1942, it has been our biggest selling Gibson acoustic every year since that year.
Man.
And there's a reason for it. It's just the combination of woods, the body size, the scale length, just makes it so balanced, so wonderful. Great for the stage, great for the studio, and of course, it's been used in every genre of music.
Right.
It's it's the icon.
It
is
is,
the
man.
working man's guitar, as they say.
Classic singer-songwriter guitar for sure. man.
Absolutely.
Definitely. The slow shoulder thing really contributes to that,
It just, again, it's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's easy to play, and the balance.
Yep.
It's just from the low E to the high E and everything in between. It's just smooth, even, makes it easy. Thermally aged Adirondack red spruce top,
Yeah.
mahogany backsides and neck, rosewood fingerboard and bridge, just the iconic package
Right.
for
right.
a historically accurate acoustic guitar.
Man, it's amazing. Red spruce. So you've got Sitka on the last guitar, red spruce on this. I mean, I love the detail, man. That's great.
It's great. I mean, just Gibson has done a lot of things historically,
Yeah.
and they did a lot of things right. I'll say that. And it's fun to go back and be able to replicate the icons.
Yeah,
You know, I keep using that
exactly.
word, but they are. They're iconic. They're wonderful. They're a part of music history. And it's so much fun to recreate that with the level of accuracy that we've done with the Custom Historic series in 2020.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because you see this guitar and it just visually even, it already represents a picture in your mind of what it's going to sound like, who's associated with it. I mean, it's great, man.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
the list is endless.
Yeah,
of
right.
people that have used
Right.
in you know, from rock to folk to country to Americana to everything, and it just works for everything. That's what makes it a J45. That's what makes it what it is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Cool guitar for sure.
Thank you.
Don, thanks so much, man.
You're
Really
welcome.
appreciate it. Golly, these things are amazing. And thanks for checking out the Gibson Custom Historic line with us. If you have any questions about this or any other Gibson product, make sure to contact your Sweetwater sales engineer or check us out online at sweetwater.com. Thanks.